Hey folks, I'm Tim Freitas from the Garden of English. A few years back, a certain virus forced the College Board to begin offering digital testing on an incredibly large scale. Over the last 2 years, schools and students have been allowed to choose whether to test digitally or in analog form. However, it has been announced that all of the AP English exams for both Lit and Lang will be digital starting in the 24-25 school year. These tests will be done on the College Board platform called Blue Book. By the way, if you're a student, have you ever seen a real Blue Book before? You know, like the ones that most of your teachers took their exams on in college? If not, then look no further because I have a bunch of them right here. Anyway, knowing that digital testing is happening, I wanted to make this video for both students and teachers, offering you the best digital exam prep tips that I can so you can feel supported during this digital testing revolution. Here's the tip countdown, and I think that number 1 may surprise you. But we're going to start at tip 5. Here it is. Know where you can access information that will help you know what to expect on exam day. You can find plenty of information on the AP Educators YouTube channel. I suggest that you start out with the video that's called An Introduction to Digital AP Testing, and I'll direct you towards one other video in a few moments. These videos cover just about all that you need to know. I'm going to provide you with direct links to the College Board specific videos in the description right below this video. Right down by the like button and subscribe button that you'll want to press so that you can stay updated with what I can give you for your AP Lang and AP Lit test prep needs. Now, if you don't want to watch all of the Introduction to Digital AP Testing video, that's almost a whole 9 minutes long, no worries. I've already done that, so you don't have to do so.
Lucky.
Here's the information that you need to know. Standard exam timing doesn't change. Students have an hour for their multiple choice questions and 2 hours to write all 3 Lit essays or 2 hours and 15 minutes to write all 3 Lang essays. Students will have a 10-minute break in between each section. While testing, students can also have scratch paper to write on and a writing utensil. You should check out what the exam experience will look like, and this happens at the 1-minute mark and goes until about the 6-minute mark. The example in the video allows you to see what it looks like to take the Lit exam, and it just so happens that the Lang exam looks almost identical. Now, would you look at that? I recommended watching only 5 minutes of the almost 9-minute video. If you put that in double time, I just saved you 6.5 minutes of your life.
Are you serious? I'm dead serious.
Tip 4 for digital testing. If you're asked a question about a particular section of text, the Blue Book app will underline the text mentioned in the question itself. What you need to remember, though, is that most of the time that lines are referenced, the answer to the question usually shows up in the context before or after those lines mentioned in the question. So it's important that you read about 2 to 3 lines before and after the underlined section of text so that you'll be able to answer the question correctly. Tip 3. Students and teachers alike should watch parts of the College Board video called Refining Your Teaching Strategies for the Digital AP Exams. And of course, it's right down there next to the link to my Lit support materials for AP Lit teachers and my exam prep guide for AP Lang students. But you need to know 2 things about this video. 1, it's made for teachers, and even though that's the case, there are some important things that students should watch. And 2, it's almost an hour long.
Ew!
So I'm gonna hit you with the highlights. At the 11-minute 53-second mark until about the 17-minute mark, you'll be shown in detail all of the annotation and analytical features and strategies that Blue Book offers. Students, please check these out.
Don't make me beg here.
So you can know what these look like before you test. When it comes to your essay questions, you can see the analytical writing tools at the 18 to 23-minute marks in the video. Outside of those times, students will get a few test-taking strategies, but nothing they probably wouldn't have heard before. But for you teachers, you'll certainly want to watch from the 34 to 40-minute mark for some classroom tips, with the best one being about practicing digital annotations with Cami. Now, you might be thinking that I'm just repeating information from College Board videos, but in a condensed form. And you're right, I am. But I just saved you all over 40 minutes of mining through those videos. I also wanted to offer you some more advice about digital testing, though it's a little bit outside of what these videos provide. And that brings me to tip 2 in our countdown. If you didn't already know, whether you are a student or a teacher, you can download the Blue Book app, load up practice exams for your subject areas that you're testing in, and you can practice with exactly what the exam will look like. Yes, teachers, you can even log in as educators and access a test preview of what a practice Lit and Lang exam will be. And you can interact with all of the features. And students, you can interact interact with a full-length practice exam. Doing so is a good idea, and I have the link to the Blue Book app right in the description down below. If you're a teacher, know that you can't assign anything in Blue Book from AP Classroom. But I would encourage you to take a class period to get your students into the Blue Book app, and then let them poke around and see where things are and try all of the features out. I'd also recommend that you not wait until right before the exam to do this. One of the most important yet often overlooked features to look for in this practice time are the keyboard shortcuts. Because I'm a man of my word and I agreed not to screenshot or display anything from inside Blue Book, I'm not going to, but I'm going to describe how to get to the keyboard shortcuts. In the top right hand side of the screen when you log in, you're going to see 3 dots with the word More underneath it. You're going to click there and see a few options pop up. You'll want to click on the word Shortcuts and all of the keyboard shortcuts will pop up. There are quite a few, so I would suggest that you peruse the list and think about the ones that you would really consider using on exam day. Then you want to begin memorizing and practicing with those key commands. Keyboard shortcuts can really help save time, and they can help make it so that things that are a few hundred clicks away are actually just a shortcut away. Alright, now to finish our countdown with my final tip for digital testing. You should teach and learn the analytical reading and writing skills in any medium that you feel most comfortable with. And if you do, you'll be fine on test day. I'm not saying that you shouldn't practice with the testing interface, but I'm also not saying that any teacher should make his or her own classroom entirely digital. I know that I certainly won't. But what I can assure you is that no matter what, if students know how to read analytically and write well, they can perform well. Believe it or not, there have been thousands of years of recorded human history where many highly intelligent students did amazing things without computers. And just because you can't annotate digitally exactly like you can by hand doesn't mean that you can't learn to think critically, even if you can't mark something how you would prefer. If you have the thinking skills, the medium in which you display them doesn't have to be the biggest deal. I often think that teachers and students alike stress over testing formats when skill development should always supersede any testing interface. At the end of the day, I don't need you all to know how to operate Blue Book 25 years from now, but I need you to know how to think critically and communicate well. If you can do both before exam day, in conjunction with practicing my other tips, you're gonna be fine. Check out and practice all of what I've offered here today, and then you want to look into the Garden of English's study resources that I have for each course. They're about to pop up on your screen right now.